Okay, so you've probably seen some of my recent thumbnails, and today I'm going to show you how I make them. So we're going to make a world, and then I'll explain what we're doing. So yep, how you doing everybody? Welcome to the video. My name's Happy, and today we are in a beautiful, beautiful little igloo area, and Oh, right, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my thumbnail world. This is where I build pretty much all of my thumbnails and a few thumbnails for another channel that I manage. There was a snowman here a second. There he is. Hello. Hi. You don't have a name, but hi. Okay, yeah, so pretty much what I do to make thumbnails is I build them. So, this video comes out after yesterday's, which was the igloo tutorial. And I believe I haven't actually made the thumbnail yet at the time of recording, but I believe this is what I use right about here. And the snowman is over there, but yeah, that's basically it. It's that simple. No, it's not that simple. Pretty much what you got to do is you got to make yourself a world. I am actually currently teaching a friend of mine how to make thumbnails. Here's what we got. So we did a theme. The theme was wheat farm, and this is what I came up with. And this is what the friend came up with. Keep in mind, I've been doing this thumbnail design for quite a while. They were pretty new to it, so yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to recreate the thumbnail of mine that you just saw, and then I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it, some tips that I use as well that I teach new people. So let's begin. So tip number one is to think of a theme, and the theme we're going to be using today is wheat farm. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to grab an area, and we're going to build out like so. And we want to make sure that we're still in the light, so we don't want to be in the way of anything else that we've built. And all we need to do is just take a little bit of this land, maybe this much, this will do, and fill it all in with the grass. And then once we've done that, we're just going to do a second layer, just because we're going to be breaking a few blocks and having some water. So we'll fill in the bottom with dirt just like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get a second Minecraft account. If you don't have a second Minecraft account, what you can do is download the CMD Cam mod, which I've used a couple times in videos. You've probably seen some cinematics with that. Install that and then set up a camera point. So get yourself in position. Press the P key on your keyboard to set up a waypoint. And then all you need to do is type the following commands. I don't have the mod turned on at the moment, but the commands you'll need to type in are cam, and you'll need to type in mode outside, just like that. You'll also need to type in cam. You can either do target or not target, depends if you're going to be in the thumbnail. So we'll do cam target self. That's another one you'll need. And then you'll need to type in cam start 30 seconds -1, and then that will start the camera and it will make sure you're outside so you can still move around and get to where you need to be. But just to make things easier on me, I'm going to get my second Minecraft account. And whilst we wait for the second account to join, what we're going to do, we're going to set up the seams. So we're going to get some farmland and we're going to grab ourselves some water. Remember, this will be different for you. Obviously, you know, you can build a thing like this, you can build a thing like that, you can build a thing like this. You know, I mean, obviously now it's got things behind it, but this was a thumbnail that's been on the channel before. You might recognize this. You may recognize the calendar over there. That was for Minecraft Live 2020. You might also recognize this. This was for a recent challenge I did with Kasai a couple of months back. So there's a lot of times when I come and build my own thumbnail. So yeah, we're just going to get ourselves prepared, and we're just going to go maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. That gives us a center. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fill all this in with water, and then we'll grab ourselves some wheat. Seeing as this is a wheat farm, we need the wheat seeds, and then we're going to grab the bone meal that up, just like this. Boop, 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 boop. Come on, wheat. Come on, wheat. Bone meal. There we go. And then we're going to grab ourselves in position. So we're going to go inside here. We're actually going to dig this back a block just so we have an extra bit of leeway for the camera. So we'll need some more water to fill that in. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go into spectator mode using F3 plus F4. And then you can select which one you want to do. So we're going to go to spectator mode and we're going to set our FOV to 30. And then we're going to grab a position. So I think the position of our camera is going to be just here. And just to make sure we're in the right place, you want to type in TP, your name, and then you want to do tilde, 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 and I believe for me it's 180. There you go. So do that and then get yourself in the position that you want. I'm probably just going to go up slightly, just like that. There we go. And then I'm going to press on my keyboard F3 plus C. And what that will do is that will copy my location to clipboard. And then I'm going to just paste that in so I'm in the right place. Then I'm going to press F1 so I'm not in a random location. And then we'll get the second account online. And actually, believe it or not, we can take our first screenshot right now. So we're going to take a screenshot here just like so. And there we go. F2. Our screenshot has been taken. Now just be aware that when you take your next screenshot, you can either press F1 to get rid of that, or you can press F3 plus D, and that clears the chat. So let's get our second account logged in and we can do the rest of the work on the thumbnail. We're going to do now, we're going to get our second account online and then we're going to bring him over here and do the rest of our thumbnail. And what we're going to be doing, we're going to be adding in a little thing called a hoe. So here's our second account, just jumped in the water. And as you know, you can't actually put item frames on top of these wheat things. So what we're going to do, we're going to break this block. Seeing as we already have a screenshot, we're going to break this block and we're going to get ourselves a barrier block. So you can do that by typing in /give and do the username of your second account, barrier block, like so, and then just press enter on your keyboard. That gives the second account a barrier block. As you can see, I've got that in my hand just here. Then place down your barrier block here. Don't worry about the dirt changing color. And then what we're going to do, we're going to grab an item frame from our inventory, place that down like so, and then we're going to do this. Now, as you can see, it's gone a little bit to the side in the wrong place. So we're going to just move our camera ever so slightly over here, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab a diamond hoe or any item you want, place it in here, and there we go. Now all we need to do is take a second screenshot, just like that, and now we're done with Minecraft. So now we're in Paint.net, which is my preferred program for making thumbnails, and what we're going to do, we're going to grab our screenshots from our screenshot folder. We're going to press add layer, and there they go. So now what we can do is we can line this one up with this one, and all we're going to do with this is we're going to, nice and simple, just cut around this. Don't worry about the blue, we can get rid of that in a minute. Just go all the way like this, and you should have, because you was nice and straight in the thumbnail, you should have all of this. So press Ctrl X to get rid of that. Paste it back in on the layer like so, and now you should have this layer here, which is just this, and you should have the background, which is like so. Now obviously this was done quite quick, so it won't look exactly like my thumbnail that I showed you at the start. So what we're going to do, we're just going to touch this up here. If you want to, that's completely optional. I'm not really going to be too fussed about that, seeing as it's just a shadow from the other picture. So what we're going to do now is we are actually just going to sort this out. We're going to move it down slightly just because I feel like it can be moved down, and then we're going to copy this from the bottom and we're going to just flip it. So we're going to copy this and we're going to flip. We're going to make sure it lines up nicely, and then we're going to move it up. There you go, that lines up nicely. We're going to move that to the top, and what that will do is that will give us a new top half of the item frame. Don't worry that it looks a little bit off, but what that does do is it does now sort our problem. So yep, there we go, there's our item frame. And then all we need to do is we need to add in some text. Now the text is called Minecraft, and I will leave a link to that down below. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to type in wheat farm, just like that. And we're going to make it centered, and then we're going to make it nice and big, just like nice and big. Wheat farm. We want people to know that this is a wheat farm. This is where they are going to get the best tutorial on how to make a wheat farm. You can go nice and big, that'll do. And now what we're going to do, we're going to press Ctrl D to deselect, and we're just going to give it a slight little tilt, and then we're going to go to effects. You will need an effects pack for this, but I will show you a way to do it without. So if you don't have the effects pack, watch the next part. If you do have the effects pack, go to object and go to object shadow. Then just all you need to do is drag the object shadow up, drag the shadow radius up, and then move your object shadow to where you want it to be. I'm going to have mine about there, take the strength down, and there we go. That is pretty much the thumbnail. Now, because we've got this on its own layer, we can actually bring this down if you want to, and there you go. That is the thumbnail. Now, if you don't have the drop shadow plugin, all you need to do, nice and simple, is duplicate the layer like so. So I've now got 2 wheat farm. Select the one that's underneath, bring it down. Then you want to go to adjustments, hue saturation, change it to black like so, and then all you need to do is go into blurs, and you need to go to this blur, and then all you need to do is add it until it looks about right, just like that, and then there you go, you've just replicated the drop shadow effect. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I make my thumbnails. As I say, there are some tips that I am going to go through quickly, and they are pretty simple. So the tips that I'm going to go through for making thumbnails are as follows. Number 1, consider perspective. Make sure things look exactly like they're meant to be there, not like they've been added in manually. For example, the item frame. Yes, we moved it around, but it still looks like it works, and we're not actually done. We will be adding something else to the item frame that's a bit more advanced. Use the full canvas and avoid tiny text, or text in general. Yep, not every thumbnail needs to use text, but sometimes it looks good. And make sure you use a thick font as well. Make sure you're using shaders when you're doing your thumbnails as well. Shaders always make a thumbnail look nicer, as you can see with the water reflection on this one. This next tip only applies if you've got yourself in the thumbnail, so if your subject is too small, make it larger, cut it out, but not too big. We don't want it to look silly and ridiculous. Drop shadow and outlines, we'd covered that. Custom sky, well, I haven't shown you that yet, but we'll talk about custom sky in a minute. And then if you do have a custom sky, make sure you're using realistic clouds. So we do actually have a couple more things to go over, and we're first of all going to tackle our drop shadow on this, the reflection. So we're going to take our layer, we're going to duplicate it like so, and then what we're going to do is we're going to drag it down. We're actually going to squish it quite a lot. Seeing as this is just a reflection, we do need to squish this. There we go, like that. And this one, what we're going to do, we're going to double click on our layer, drag the opacity down, go to effects, go to distort, and then you want to go and do the crystallize. And then what that will do is give you this. You can change the quality, you can change the cell size. We're going to keep this quite low, just like this. And there you go. You can reseed it if you want to, but we're going to keep it like this. And then just press OK. And now you've got yourself a little reflection. If you need to change it, just drag it round. Make sure it lines up with this. Make sure it's nice and straight as well. And there you go. You've just got yourself a reflection. Obviously, at the moment, you can see it's not a reflection. So just turn it around. Just turn it around like that. And there you go. Now you've got a reflection. If you need to as well, just do this. And now you really have got a reflection. And there's one more thing I want to talk about, which was the custom sky. So what we're going to do, we're just going to get rid of everything that's not the background right now. So that includes all of these things. So we're going to hide these just using our arrows. The arrows are here. Just click those and it shows and hides something. So what we're going to do now is we're actually just going to go ahead and remove the sky. So make sure you either use the control button to select a certain part, or make sure you use the shift. If you're using shift, it's going to select everything, but you can drag down, so it's only selecting certain things. So we want it to be selecting all of this blue. We'll get rid of this, and then we're left with some cloud layers. To make life easier, you can change the background to red, and then you can see exactly what hasn't been removed on your picture. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to just remove that. Don't worry if there's a couple of little things. Doesn't matter too much, but as you can see, we've now removed the entire sky. So now we're going to get rid of this layer. And what we're going to do, we're going to do the three-tone sky. So you want to select a very, very white color and then a very, very light blue color, just like this, for example, these two. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to choose the gradient tool, which is just here. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click about here and drag up. You can even bring it higher if you want. And as you can see, we now have this nice transition between the sky and our foreground background. So then you want to change this. So click on the white color and change the opacity alpha to 0. And then click on the light blue and set it to a darker blue. And then click up top here and you should see this. Now, if it does this, all you got to do is use your other mouse click button and do that. So what you want to create very, very white, very, very light blue, and normal blue. Then we're going to go onto Google and we're going to find some clouds, because who doesn't love clouds? So we're going to type in Minecraft clouds for this one, include PNG at the end, and then these are the clouds we're going to be using. As you can see, it's a transparent image. So make sure you right click on this, copy the image, and paste it in here on a new layer. And there we go, we now have Minecraft clouds. Now, if you think Minecraft clouds aren't going to work, try some realistic clouds. Just remember, they are clouds. So we're now going to do our little checkboxes and bring back everything. As I say, the checkboxes are over here. I'm going to bring back everything. And now we have our finished thumbnail. And there you go. Now, if you think the sky looks too weird, go to adjustments, go to hue and saturation, and reset all your values, and then just play around with this. I actually think that looks quite nice. And then if you want to, you can get your wheat. You can do a hue saturation on that as well. Bring that up just like that. And there you go. That is pretty much it. That is how I make my thumbnails. Hope you enjoyed it. Mine has been happy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.